Alright, how's it going, everyone? In this video I want to talk about some speech patterns, and I'll start with ripping on my own kind. I'm Russian. I clearly have a Russian accent. I think I speak grammatically correct sentences. I hope so. But in terms of learning the English language and looking around me and at other Russian-speaking people or people from the former Soviet Union, there's several things. Number one, in the Russian language, there's the lack of the th sound, or the th. So as a result, people, especially who are adults, when they start speaking English, they sound like this. It's something that is very difficult for them to force themselves to make those th sounds. I never struggled with that, but nonetheless, the next thing in terms of pronunciation is something like 30, 20 people who are Russian who started learning the language. They sort of have this quasi-British pronunciation. So like 30, 20, maybe because when they learned English, it was back in Russia, and with the sort of proper pronunciation. And then finally, in terms of pronunciation, is the confusion when to use the E or the sound, like ship, sheep, beach, bitch. Every once in a while, I notice myself kind of slipping and using the wrong one. Even though I know what the word is supposed to sound like, every once in a while I just I mispronounce it. Now, in terms of grammar, the English grammar is ridiculously simplified compared to French or German or Russian. But in Eastern European languages, there's no such thing as an article. There's no, like, I have an apple, I have 2 bananas. You just say, I have apple. Or like, I will take train. So as a result, when Russian people are trying to speak, or if you're trying to imitate what somebody who's Russian would sound like, is just complete omission of articles, or using articles when they don't belong. So like, I have guitar, I have cup. All right, so that's me ripping on my own kind a little bit. Now, I was at this conference in Seattle 2 weeks ago, and I attended one of the lectures, and the chick who was reading the lecture, she was Chinese. She sounded Chinese, but she was married to a non-Chinese person because her last name was like Jones or something. So it's like, anyway, when she was speaking, and it's so typical of Asian languages, is this like complete disregard for grammar and complete disregard for singular or plural, and it drives me nuts. It's such a simple concept. Maybe it's just me, but to me, once somebody slips a few times, I can't listen to the actual pay attention to the actual content of what they're talking about. I will start waiting for them to screw up the grammar again. So it's in languages like Mandarin Chinese, there's no tenses. There are no tenses, and there are no pluralizations. So it's like 1 shoe, 2 shoe, 3 shoe, and how they convey the tenses is just like, yesterday I go to store and buy 2 apple. Tomorrow I go to work. So it's just, everything is just simplified, kind of present tense, without any pluralization, and the context is kind of varied with words like yesterday or tomorrow or You understand? So as a result, when people who have never had to conjugate any verbs, they, when they speak, it's just like also sort of present tense and without any pluralization. But it's such a simple concept, like one shoe, two shoes. And this girl was like, sometimes she would remember to say it, but it just like, everything was just like, or, I mean, English grammar is so easy if you have regular kind of present tense, like I read, you read, he, she reads. Third person, you add an S, and that's it. And you have some irregular verbs like do, does, or am, like the verb to be, I am, you are, he is. But for the most part, it's just adding an S to the third person singular. And when pluralizing, adding an S. And it's not like the sound, the S sound is challenging. It's just, you're not used to it, but it drives me nuts. Anyway, just that. Thank you for watching. Bye.